I'm going to call this most unusual meeting of the Plan Commission to order. I thank everyone who is, we do have people here in attendance, both commissioners and members of the public, one member of the public, and thank you all for logging in online. I appreciate it. So I'll call the meeting to order, and can we have a roll call when you're ready?
Ms. Billman?
Here.
Mr. Fell?
Here.
Mr. Fitch?
Here.
Mr. Hopkins, are you with us?
Remotely, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Weiskopf?
Here.
Thank you. And Ms. Yu?
Here.
Great. So that's 6 commissioners, meaning we do have a quorum. Are there any changes to the agenda?
There are none.
The approval of the minutes from the previous meeting, the March 25th regular commission of the regular meeting of the Plan Commission. Any motions?
I will move to approve the minutes.
Motion by Mr. Fell,
Second.
second Ms. Yu. I do have one typo on page 5. Do you have the minutes? I mean, with you? Here, I'll just give you a copy of here. I've got it circled and marked.
Thank you.
There's a word that says being. Mr. Hopkins added that the Plan Commission would being done doing nothing at the meeting. Should be be.
Excellent.
So let's vote on the meetings as amended. I mean, the minutes as amended. All those in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Those opposed? The minutes are approved. Communications.
Some thoughts from Sanjay about where you think we are.
We did have one written communication that was about the case tonight. It was from the owners of the Peoria Charter Bus Company, which owns 2 properties to the north of the site where the craft grower is proposed. However, they thought that a dispensary was proposed for the site, and once we clarified to them that this was in fact a craft grower, they withdrew their communication.
Okay, thank you. We have no continued public hearings. We have no old business. Therefore, we do have a new public hearing. This is for plan case number 2397 SU 20. A request by Tamala Green on behalf of Champaign Social Equity Growers for a special use permit to allow craft grower cannabis business at 1906 Federal Drive in the IN1 Light Industrial District. Ms. Trotter.
Hello, everyone. I'm presenting on case 2397 SU 20 for a special use permit at 1906 Federal Drive. Tamala Green, on behalf of Champaign Social Equity Growers, requests a special use permit to allow craft growing cannabis business at 1906 Federal Drive. Byron Clark and the project team have tuned in remotely to answer any questions you may have. Champaign Social Equity Growers seeks a special use permit to allow craft grower cannabis business at 1906 Federal Drive, south of West Kenyon Road. The special use permit would be for a craft grower, not a cannabis dispensary, and there will be no customers coming to the site. The parcel is roughly 33,000 square feet. The site has no existing land use at the moment, but it is surrounded by industrial and agricultural uses. The site is zoned IN1 Light Industrial Office. The parcels surrounding 1906 Federal Drive are also zoned IN1. A craft grower is permitted in the IN1 Light Industrial Office zoning district. However, craft growers require a special use permit when located within 300 feet of residential zoning. The residentially zoned parcels to the south are less than 300 feet from the site. The parcels are zoned R4, medium-density, multiple-family residential, and are currently undeveloped. The parcels are planned for the Union Garden development and for an affordable housing development. The proposed craft grower is not located within 1,500 feet of another craft grower or cultivation center, and the facility is not located within 2,500 feet of a park or a school. These site photos were taken on March 5th, 2020, and show the existing building and parking lot at 1906 Federal Drive. The applicant plans to utilize the existing building on the property and build on a warehouse addition. The warehouse cultivation area for the craft grower would be approximately 16,000 square feet. The facility would be required to provide 8 parking spaces according to the zoning ordinance, and they will have 7 employees. The applicant does not anticipate foot traffic at this site because the craft grower will not be selling product to individual clients. There will be no identifiable signage, and the facility entrance and exit will be inconspicuous. This is the site plan for the development. The applicant is asking for a special use permit to grow cannabis plant in an indoor cultivation facility. The proposed craft grower will not sell cannabis products to clients at this location. The proposed craft grower would be subject to Illinois state regulations in the Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act, which is 410 ILCS 705. Among other things, this act requires craft growers to mitigate exterior odors by installing air scrubbing or an air filtration systems approved by the zoning administrator. The applicant will also implement a security plan and surveillance system with biometric access per state law. The facility will be monitored 24/7 with armed guards. The facility will also be fenced, well-lit, and have round-the-clock security. Here are some perspective views of the proposed development. To summarize, staff found that this case meets all the requirements for a special use permit. The proposed use is conducive to the public convenience at that location. The site is just slightly less than 300 feet from the nearest residential districts, which are both to the south, away from prevailing winds, and are currently undeveloped. The location is also on the northwest side of town, away from other residential districts. This will help to minimize any potential odors that may not be fully suppressed with the air filtration systems, and this will bring no additional traffic to residential areas. The proposed use is designated, located, and proposed to be operated so that it will not be unreasonably injurious or detrimental to the district in which it shall be located, or otherwise injurious to the public welfare. The craft growing facility would be surrounded by other IN1 uses and zoned properties. As mentioned before, the facility will be fenced, well-lit, and include inconspicuous entrances and exits. The facility will also require 24/7 security and an installed air filtration system. The proposed use would preserve the essential character of the district and is consistent with the IN1 zoning and future land use of the property. The proposed cannabis craft growing facility would be permitted by right in the IN1 zoning district if not within 300 feet of a residential area. This use fits with the surrounding warehouse and office uses in the area. The appearance and function of the building are both consistent with other warehouses in the industrial district. The state of Illinois and city of Urbana regulations in place ensure that the proposed craft grower would not be unreasonably injurious or detrimental to the district in which it is located, or otherwise injurious to the public welfare. The Plan Commission may recommend additional conditions and requirements on the operation of the proposed uses as are appropriate or necessary for public health, safety, welfare, and to carry out the purposes of the ordinance. The Plan Commission has the following options in case 2397 SU 20. Forward the special use permit request to City Council with a recommendation to approve the variances or the special use permit as requested based on the findings in this memo. Forward the special use permit to City Council with a recommendation to approve the special use permit with any conditions deemed appropriate or necessary for the public health, safety, welfare, and to carry out the purposes of the city's municipal code, or deny the special use permit, and if so, articulate the findings supporting the denial. Staff recommends that the Plan Commission recommend approval of the special use permit to City Council under the condition that the use generally conforms to the site plan and Exhibit C. I can take any questions you have now.
Great, thank you very much. We'll have some questions from the Plan Commission. I'm going to start with Mr. Hopkins since he's online and see if Lou has any questions.
No questions.
Great, thank you. Mr. Fell?
First, how many square feet total is this facility?
The addition, I believe, is 16,000 square feet.
Okay. I guess I want to clarify before I ask a couple questions. My building safety hat is off, so we don't really comment on their plan, just special use permit, it's okay or it's not okay.
That's correct.
Okay. You said the lot is less than 300 feet from the residential zoning, but how much less?
According to the CCGISC website, being able to draw the line from their parcel to the nearest residential parcel, it's like 298 feet,
Okay. So the reality of the GIS map is it
plus or
could very well
minus.
be over 300 feet by some amount.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard, their line's 2 foot thick on the drawing, so.
Yeah, I mean, we're beholden to the quality of the
Right.
GIS
Okay.
data, which is pretty accurate,
Right.
so we'll err on the side of caution.
Okay.
Any other questions from Plan Commission? No? Thank you very much.
thank you.
And now let me just outline the procedures for a public hearing. I'll try to do this as best I can with the remote people. When we get to the point where you might want to speak, if you could unmute yourself, then I can see the screen and I will know that you wish to speak with us. And we do have one gentleman in attendance who may want to address us. So basically, staff has presented a summary of the case. The petitioner may now make a statement outlining the nature of the request and introducing evidence. The other proponents of the request may then be heard. Opponents then may be heard and present evidence, and others may be heard. Additional comments by city staff may be allowed. The petitioner then will get the last word and can rebut any opposition, and then we will close the public hearing and discuss amongst the commissioners and possibly vote. So those are the procedures. And I do see that the petitioner is on. Would you care to address the commission on this case?
Yes, I would. This is Tamela Green. I am the managing member of our company. I don't have a lot of information right now regarding, because you've covered it pretty well as far as what we're proposing. And I would just like to thank the city staff for working with us through the special use application process. While I haven't been working directly with you all, I've been getting regular updates and reports, and I've really been happy to hear about how responsive and supportive you've been throughout the process. That's allowed us to focus on our business as far as making sure that we submit a quality application to the state. So it's much appreciated.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Green? Mr. Hopkins? No? Okay. Well, thank you very much. Now, is there anybody who is in support of this proposal who would like to address the commission? And it looks like everyone online is still mute. So I'll take that as no. Does anybody wish to address the commission who is opposed to this proposal? All right. Okay. Ms. O'Hara, I can see you, and there's a gentleman here in the room. I'll let him go first. If you want to approach, and you're Mr. Heimberger, is that correct? Yes. So if you could just state your name and then tell us what's on your mind.
Well, first, I'd like to say thanks for getting the audio.
It sounds a lot better, doesn't it?
Oh,
So
great.
what's your first name?
and also thanks for the paperwork. Is this building going to grow the marijuana inside this building?
That's my understanding.
Okay, how are they going to distribute that from that facility?
So the cannabis plant that is grown at the facility will not,
I can't understand her.
You're going to have, yeah.
can you hear me now? Is that better?
I'll try it.
Okay. The cannabis plant that is grown at the facility will not be sold to individual clients. It will be picked up and then brought to distributors, likely dispensaries in the area, and sold from there.
Okay, so the customers will come there and take it back to their facility and resell it then?
Yes, it won't be individual clients. It'll be companies that will then sell it at dispensaries or other locations.
Okay, what about the the people that's going to be living there and the church-going people? How are they going to be protected to know that those are really people coming in to buy and it's not some other kind of trafficking?
So the distributors who are picking up the cannabis plant will pick it up likely in trucks during pickup and drop-off times. The facility is fenced and secure 24 hours a day with armed guards, so the churchgoers across the streets should be safe and completely
So
unaffected.
the guards will check them before the gates are opened?
We'll check the distributors.
Are the gates going to be closed, and then whoever's coming to pick it up, will they identify themselves before the gates are open?
I believe so, yes, and the applicant may be able to answer that question a little bit better.
Yeah, so one, we're going to be working with Effie Moran as our primary surveillance security firm, and we'll be following their direction. But for the most part, the cannabis will be shipped more often than picked up from the facility. So it'll be mostly outbound traffic to get it to our customers. And then as far as the procedures at the gate, we are going to try to make that as inconspicuous and as uninvasive as possible with regard to the public interaction and following the best practices of our security firm, Effie Moran.
Okay, how much traffic do you anticipate coming into this facility?
Well, that's really hard to say based on demand, but we do know that our buyers will be requesting bulk shipments, so that will help to minimize any traffic. And again, it will be mostly outgoing, shipping it to customers.
Will there be parking on the street by your employees, or are they going to be in off the street? Because our farm equipment, if we have to come down that way, it's very close when we get down there at Canteen. We can't hardly get in.
Oh, we'll be using parking on our property and off the street.
Okay, so everything would be off the street in front of your facility and beside your facility?
Correct.
Okay, all right. And then one other thing is, do you start this marijuana by seed or plants?
Well, that a lot of that is going to be sort of internal information that we have, and so but it will be grown in the facility.
Because if you're got to truck it in and then grow the plants there, you're going to have twice as much, maybe 3 times as much traffic coming in and out of there.
Yeah, and again, we don't anticipate much traffic, and we'll do everything that we can in terms of growing and production to minimize that.
So do you sell this stuff 24/7, 365?
No. We anticipate regular business hours.
And why is this needed in the community?
Well, again, that's something that I think the community would be able to answer. So I really can't speak for the community.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about the stuff, so that's why I'm asking, because it's already being supplied, I guess, to these other people that are selling it. So why would you need another facility to grow it?
And again, that's as simple as just our sort of supply and demand economics. There is a demand for it, and it's of course, a legal and legitimate business.
Yeah, I can say, Mr. Heimberger, that the state requires these dispensaries who are going to sell it to the people to buy it from a licensed grower. And so that's where they are in the food chain of this product. They're the licensed grower. They'll sell it to a licensed dispensary who will then sell it to individuals.
So they could sell it to Springfield if, or let's say Clinton or somewhere.
I don't know if they have to sell it within the district or not.
Well, there are specific rules that that are in the state act that say how close you can sell your product. It actually varies based on the population in the surrounding area. If they wanted to sell, it's my understanding that if they wanted to sell to an area that's, say, several counties away, they would need to use a dedicated cannabis transporter, which is a different type of business that's separately licensed by the state.
Okay. Have you got any response from the church?
I don't know.
No, they haven't commented.
Well, I guess,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Anything further, Mr. Heimberger?
And no other, I guess, I don't want to say rejections.
Or
but
communications, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I know of, other than what Mr. Garcia mentioned at the beginning,
Okay,
that apparently once they got further details, they dropped their objection.
yeah, okay.
No, they didn't.
They didn't? As soon as I'm done with Mr. Heimberger, we'll return to the online, and you'll get a chance to talk.
Okay, well, I guess that's all I've got. then.
Okay, any questions from the Plan Commission? No? Thank you, sir. Okay, Ms. O'Hara, you had unmuted at one point. Did you want to have a chance to address us here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it's a Mr. O'Hara.
Oh,
to
Mr.
begin
O'Hara,
with.
sorry, sir.
No, not a problem. My concern here is this. I know the area, I know the demographics, and the fact that it is a dead end there, that dead end makes it very difficult for people to maneuver. What kind of, and then they were saying that this was going to be inconspicuous, but yet they said they're going to have guards, security, and all sorts of things there. What is it? Inconspicuous or bringing it out in the open?
Well, again, the surveillance will be pretty inconspicuous, and the guards will be inside the facility.
Does that answer your question, sir, on that one?
Temporarily. I'll wait and listen.
Well, in
That's
regard
one
to the
question,
road,
but
in regard to the road, we actually had a case a couple of weeks ago regarding redevelopment of the property between Mr. Heimberger and the Melrose, now in 1 North. And actually, in that, we looked at a plan to build the road out so that it won't be Federal Drive will still be a dead end, but there will be a road coming across that I forgot forgot the name of. But there will be a connection, so it should be better there within probably a couple years.
Is that the one that they're coming off of Oak Street on?
So,
Is that the road that comes off of Oak?
so it would come from Oak Street through the future Union Gardens development and then connect up to Federal Drive. So yes, it's the one that's coming off of Oak Street.
Okay, because that was one of my concerns as a citizen is the fact that I know there are other locations in Urbana and North that would be better suited for that. That was the question.
All right. Anything further, sir?
No, that's it.
Any questions for Mr. O'Hara from Plan Commissioners? No, thank you, sir. Anyone else wish to address us at this time?
It's going to go through.
It looks like if you do want to address this, unmute yourself and then we'll identify you and you can talk. But it looks like we don't have anybody. So I don't know if the developer has any, or the business owner has anything else they'd like to add at this time before we close the public hearing?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. In that case, we'll close the public hearing and we'll go into discussion and possibly vote. So I'm going to unmute Mr. Hopkins. I think I'm going to. I did.
I unmuted you.
And Mr. Weiskopf is on the line
Mr.
too, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he is, but I don't know.
He's been unmuted the whole time?
I'm here. I haven't tried to interject.
Okay.
Great.
Well, you've done a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
I might have just closed the meeting. Jason, did I just accidentally close the meeting? He's trying to get
I
it
don't
back.
think so. I'm still here.
Okay, there we are. All right.
I'm still here.
Wait, we got it. Okay. All right. Crisis averted. So, anybody have any commentary? Start with Mr. Hopkins.
I have no comments.
Mr. Weiskopf?
No, I appreciated the input, but I don't have anything to add.
Okay, thanks. Any commissioners in present have anything they wish to say? Ms. Billman?
I don't have concerns about this.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. In that case, anybody want to move it? Ms. Billman?
See if I get this right. I move that we forward plan case 2397-SU-20 to the City Council with a recommendation to approve.
Motion by Ms. Billman. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Yu. Any further discussion? In that case, if we could have a roll call vote.
Okay, let's start with our remote folks. Mr. Hopkins,
Yes.
Mr. Weiskopf,
Yes.
Ms. Yu,
Yes.
Ms. Billman,
Yes.
Mr. Fell, and Mr. Fitch.
Yes. That motion passes. And do we have a date for City Council?
Yes, it will be on April 13th.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks to everyone for your participation. We don't have any new business. I don't know if anybody wants to address the commission on a matter that was not this case but has to do with planning. We now have audience participation. All right. Take that as no. Do we have a staff report?
No.
We don't have a study session. Therefore, we are adjourned.